Okay. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Lauren Condit, and I am so excited to speak to you guys tonight about knowing your why in this business. And the thing I really want to talk about tonight too is why when giving up is just not an option. And I'm so excited to talk about this tonight. Okay, so a little bit about me. So I'm a wife and a mom. Addie just turned 1 a couple weeks ago. And so I also have, you might not know this about me, but I actually have a degree in footwear design. So after I was in 4-year college, my parents, mom and dad were like, hey, if you want to go to design school, if you really want to do that, we'll send you, but you got to go to 4-year college first. So I was like, okay. So I went. And then went to design school. I got accepted into a 10-person program for footwear design. It's the only design degree you can get in the country, and got a degree in footwear. So to say that I was on a very specific path is like the understatement of the century. Like I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And this is like such a big part of my story. So so at that time I graduated design school, moved home. 3 days later, I started work at this a boot company. You might be familiar with it if we have any horse riders here. It's called Ariat. Well, first of all, I walked in and met my husband that day, so there's that. But so I started designing, and I was also fashion blogging at the same time. So I was like, I see all these girls doing this, like I could totally do that. So huge interest in fashion. Oh, that's fun. So I was brought on to do a lifestyle line out of Portugal and Spain. And then I was also doing stuff out of China and Mexico. So every 6 months I was flying to Portugal, Spain, China, and Mexico. It was a lot. But you know, it was fun, and it was a really like good, you know, it was good. Okay. So anyway, so not my true calling, but we learned that. Okay. So I'm a 2-wing-1. I'm also unapologetically obsessed with my business. And I'm also a daughter of entrepreneurs. And so this is also another really important part of my story. And what I want to share with you tonight is that when my parents got married, they only had $1,200. Only, I don't know, maybe that's for back then, I don't know. They literally only had $1,200, and they were like, okay, how do we create a life, right? And my dad's a college dropout, and my mom, this is so random, you guys, my mom went to Juilliard, I don't know if you're familiar, for piano, okay? So like, not business necessarily minded people. But this is such a big part of my story because I am a daughter of entrepreneurs. They literally hustled. They met because my mom was a travel agent in insurance, AAA, and my dad was in selling insurance. And after work, they would go home and make wedding favors and sell them. My mom would teach piano lessons. And then eventually they started their own insurance company together, and they just freaking it was like the grind, you know, like they just decided that they saw the vision that they could do it, and they were just like, yeah, let's do it. So anyways, the point is I'm from a family where if you really want something, you just decide to do it and you go all in. And that's a really important part of this business and about mindset in this business and what we're going to talk about tonight. So, you guys, do you know where you're going in this business, right? Because I know that we are going to be, so if you're unfamiliar with the Road to Elite, when you say when I'm going to be a 2020 elite team, I'm qualifying this year to be recognized as an elite team for next year, right? So like this year I'm premier because I locked that in last year for this year. So my team, a 2020 elite team, 2022, qualified for 23, 15-star elite. And we're going to be a top 10 team. And then we're actually going to be the top team in 2023. And then we're actually going to hold top 10 for 5 years. Like that's our vision. That's our goal. So I already know I'm doing that. I already know we are doing that as a team, and my team knows that. We talk about that all the time. And so having just setting the bar, setting the boundaries for what that means already, like this, today, right? Like we've known this for a while, really Like when you start talking about it and believing it, like that's what we're really going to talk about tonight. So my vision and my why, basically these two people in this photo right here, it really comes down to that. You know, Austin and I want a life of financial freedom. We want a life where we have land and cattle and our horses at our own property and not at someone else's ranch. We want a guest house so my parents can come visit and not have to stay in a hotel. You know, we want a pool in a grassy area around it with barbecues so that when in a team roping arena, so that my husband can teach lessons for fun. And so that when we want to be the house where the kids at school want to come to our house to have fun. Like we want them to come to our house for play dates. I want to go to Addie's house for play dates, right? Like that's what we want. That's the life we want. And that's what I literally I read every single day is my vision. So like, I'm not kidding. So this is the Rise Up Planner from Moira. Moira is currently the top coach. And I read this every single day. We live on a 40-acre ranch in beautiful Santa Ynez. We have 2 kids who love playing outside. Like I could just read it like without looking at it because I read this every day. And literally like you need to know where you're going and why you're working every day. And I say on my Instagram, I show this just like this. I'll go, look at, okay, I'm reading my vision. And like, this is something that is so important to me because I want this for our family and I know we're going to get there, but you have to believe that from your core every single day when you wake up. So, like I'm talking about like the decorator we're going to hire here for the guest house for my parents so they're comfortable. Okay. Like get freaking detailed. Okay. I'm not even looking at my notes. I'm all over the place. Okay. Here we go. Moving on. Okay. Hello, computer. Okay. So it's time to get real and to create your why. So if you do not have a why, we're going to talk about how to get one, right? Just go buy one, how to figure it out. Okay. So you will never, and I really truly believe this, you guys, your why is the most important part of your business. Okay. And I'm going to really say that is the truth. Because if you do not have a why that's compelling enough to get your tracker done every single day, you're never going to show up. I'm not like, I really wasn't going to tell you this. Okay. So please don't judge me as I have a problem with boundaries for myself and my work ethic. So please like, just understand what I'm saying is just don't judge me. Okay. Last night in the middle of the night. Okay. I had a boot camp start today. Okay. And last night, yesterday on Saturday, I had these 2 girls sign up. We've been talking to for like a year. Another thing, like, hello, like people don't just like join you the first time. You have to talk to them and create relationships. But I had this lady join me, and yesterday we were talking, and then the night got late, and we never solidified a program for her. Okay, my husband does not even know this, and this is like I don't want him to hear me. Okay, so in the middle of the night at 3:20 in the morning, Addie woke up. Okay, so we've been doing Cry It Out. I went in her room, whatever, blah blah. I got back in bed, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so worried she's gonna wake up because she's 2 hours. She's in Texas, and I'm in California. And I was like, she's going to wake up and do her workout and she's not going to know what program to do. And I was like, holy shit. So I got on my phone at 3:00 in the morning and I was like, hey girl, like, I just don't want you to wake up and not know what to do. Like, I'm here for you. Like, here's what I think you should do based on what we talked about. Like, I want to make sure you know. And that is the sincerity that I bring to this business. And that is why I know I'm going to be here forever. Because I care so much about the people that join me. And like, yeah, maybe that's like not exactly like boundaries, but like, that's literally like how much I love this, you guys. Like, I don't want anybody to ever get like start off on the wrong foot because this changed my life. So, if you don't know your why, let's get back to that topic. Right. So in the Rise Up Planner, Moira says, okay, in the beginning of the planner, she's like, okay, write down 10 things that you don't like about your life. So an example, and maybe you guys can write in the chat, like, do you guys have a spouse that doesn't like their job, or do you not like your current job? Like, let me know, because this is a great example. I hate that my spouse hates his job. Okay, so you write down all these negative things and you're like, ooh, this is like kind of yucky. But then she has you write the opposite of that and like what you've provided, right? So like in that positive way, I love that I have retired my husband, and now he feels free, right? So like, if you don't know exactly how to find your why, write down what you don't like, and then write the opposite of that. And that's going to really help you like solidify what's important enough to you to get out of bed early to get your tracker done. Okay. Okay. And then we have to get real. It is one thing to have these big vision goals, but it's another thing to actually get the work done to supporting the vision. You're never going to just like magically wake up one day and, you know, be an elite team or be a 15-star coach if you don't actually put the work into behind what's happening. So number one is Success Club. When will you hit Success Club? Each month, right? Like, I'm not saying like, oh, are you trying to hit Success Club? No, dude, like get serious. When are you hitting Success Club? I was on the Diamond Coffee Chat, which is an amazing thing that Jamie offers us every Wednesday, like my favorite time. And Alexis Banoche, who was leaderboard, right? Like this month already. And she made a comment once and she shared, by the way, on the Diamond Coffee Chat, you go around and you say one thing that you have learned in this business that's working for you in the business this week. It's like the best thing ever. Is honestly like, that would be like more motivation to get to Diamond than anything, because you learned so much from other leaders on this team. And Alexis once said, I know, me too, girl. She said, she was reading something that said she writes down, okay, I am going to sign up somebody that is like, whatever, like a collegiate athlete or whatever, like write that vision down by noon today, right? And like when you write it down like that, then it happens, because you're looking for it and you're expecting it and you're putting it out there, and then it comes back to you because that's what you're doing. Like, it's not an option, like you already know what's happening. And once you start believing it and like all that forward positive motion that comes from that, like that's so powerful. So number one, like, when will you hit Success Club each month? Like, when is your non-negotiable date, right? Number two, are you showing up as the boss that you want to be? Being an entrepreneur, you guys, means that you literally are the boss of your own business. I'm not working for Nicole. I'm not working for Carmen on my team. I'm literally working for me and my family. Like, you have to start adopting the mentality that if you really want this as a business, you are a freaking CEO. Like, you are literally a CEO of your business right now, right? So are you showing up as an SC2 coach, or are you showing up as the top coach in Beachbody? How are you showing up on stories today? Like, are you rating yourself? Like, how were you today? Like, are you actually going to do your workout and give it your all? Are you actually drinking your Shakeology? Are you actually showing up and doing your tracker? Or are you just checking the boxes? Because unfortunately, it's only going to hurt you if you don't do those things, right? So it's time to stop saying that you're doing the things if you're not, because it's literally only affecting your business. So and this all goes back to your why. If your why is not big enough and not compelling enough to get you out of bed in the morning, or to get you to stay up late when you've worked a full shift, or whatever the case may be, your why is not big enough. So you're going to need to refigure out what that is, so that you feel motivated and feel the drive to consistently do this business. And it's okay, you guys. It's okay if you don't have that yet. It's okay if you don't know it. This is the time, like today on September 13th, 2021, today's the day that you're going to figure that out. And that's amazing, right? Like, that's this business, do and then learn, right? It's okay. Like Sandy said this morning, you have a start date, right? A sign up date and a start date. So it's time to also figure out your fourth quarter goals if you don't know what those are. So we have 12 weeks left, and set the goal for the last quarter. This vision that I read every single day, like the 2 to 3 year goal, I love that. I love the big picture stuff. It makes me feel so warm and fuzzy inside, but I'm also knowing that like, I'm not going to go out and buy my husband a brand new white F350 King Ranch white truck with tan leather interior tomorrow, because I can't, but like, I love working toward that. Right? So it's like, you need to have a vision that's like long-term, and then you need to have a vision that's attainable for the next 12 weeks so you can actually get some traction going. Okay. Who was on the Natural Wake Up Call this morning? Callie freaking crushed it. Right? So, and when she said this quote, I had a different quote here, and then I was like, oh, this is so perfect for today. So she said, you can't fail if you don't quit. And I was like, oh my God, so good. right? Like literally, if you know in your heart of hearts that you are never going to quit this business, then you're never going to fail, which feels so good, right? So I was on a call a couple months ago with Sammy and Jamie and Carly and Amy and all these amazing leaders on our team. And I forget what it was, but it was, I think it was like, I don't even know. But anyway, so Jamie said something about like, yeah, where do you see yourself in this business? And I wrote in the chat and I was like, oh, well, Nicole, my coach and I, we're going to be 65 years old, literally like yachting around the world, like doing our Beachbody workouts and like running a team, like running our challenge, like, oh, like workouts on the go, like 65 and thriving, you know, because it's like, I know I'm going to be here till I'm dead, right? And it's like, isn't that so great? Just knowing that like we're gonna be doing that together when we're so old, right? And that's not even old. I'm gonna be looking good at 65. I'm just letting you know that right now. Okay, so so this is another, yeah, we're gonna be shaking it all on the boat. I can just see you now. Oh my God, Nicole, I love you. Okay, so this works if you do. Okay, so are you really committed to your personal journey? And this is something that is so important, okay? And another opportunity, if you are 1 star and above, you get invited every single Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific to the Best of the Best call. 2 Fridays ago, it was a gal, I'm forgetting her name, but she lives in Maryland and she was on the wake up call like a couple months ago. Anyway, she was talking about how they're so good. She was talking about how literally like what you eat for lunch is your business. And I was like, oh my God, like, okay, this is so stressful, right? But it's so true. And this reminded me of Jamie's call. Who was here in January 2021? Show of hands. Who was a coach January 2021, right? I'm sure a lot of people, okay? Do you guys remember that call that she kicked off the year? Like Jamie, like, you know what I'm talking about. The first call of the year, this year. You were like, okay, everybody in the chat, please rate yourself on your nutrition today. And everyone was like 4, 5, 8. And then you had like some rock stars, like 9, 10, right? But the point is, your body in this business is your brand. What you eat is your brand. How you speak is your brand. If you're not committed to your own personal journey, you will never be committed to your business. What I do in the morning with my Energize, my morning routine, my gratitude, my affirmations, my vision reading, that is literally a part of my business, right? I have to be in the mental space to actually show up as the top Beachbody coach, because I will be the top Beachbody coach. My team and I are going to be the top team for 5. We're going to be top 10 for those 5 years in a row, right? Like, you know that, I know that, right? So it's like, how am I showing up today? I'm not going to show up as a freaking SC2 coach over here. You know, like I want to be, like, I want our team to be the top. Like I want to lead leaders. So I'm showing up as a freaking boss every day. I'm doing my vision, my meditation, right? Like I'm committing to my program. Freaking Amwala is blowing my mind. Like, who started week 9 today? Like, oh my God, so good. Right? Like, you know, like, are you actually showing up as the leader you want to be? And the best part about this, you guys, like with Callie's call this morning, you can start right now. If you messed up, like she said, she went 5 days without going live in her bod group. And she was like, I almost quit. And she was like, you know what? But there's other people counting on me. And she went live in her bod group and she got real. And she said, look, guys, I've been gone for 5 days. I know that, and it doesn't feel good, but here I am, and I'm recommitting because you mean something to me. And you have the opportunity right this second to recommit to yourself, to recommit to your business, to recommit to your team, to get off this call and do your tracker to the best and fullest of your ability. You have all the tools. I have a freaking design degree. What? And here I am, like I had no idea that fitness was ever going to be a part of my future. And here I am. Why? Because Beachbody has given us the opportunity to literally get results on our own from home, has given us the opportunity to create freaking huge businesses that's going to get me my 40 acres in beautiful Santa Ynez with our cattle and our pool and my guest house for my parents. We have the opportunity. Like, are you taking advantage of that? Like, how was your nutrition today? Did you use your containers? I did, right? Like, this is all part of it. And you have to believe that you are going to be that person, and you can start this very second. It's okay if you mess up. We all mess up. But like Callie said this morning, it's your journey to get, and it's your commitment to yourself and your business and your future and to your kids and to your legacy to keep going, right? Keep going. Like, don't ever quit on yourself. Don't ever quit on this business. Okay, who's ready to cry? Nicole, Carmen, are you listening? Amy Bailey. I don't know if you're on Amy Bailey, but you're a huge inspiration to me, girlfriend. And one of the first TFTF calls I was ever on, Amy said this: your invite is the most selfless thing you do today. And I cannot even imagine what my life would be like right now if Nicole hadn't invited me. Okay? Nicole, I love you so much. Nicole reached out to me, not even like she connected, of course, don't worry, Nicole, no messages, but like literally she reached out to me and asked me to do a 3-week boot camp, okay? And I was like, who are you? Like, what are you doing? Like, who are you? Who is this girl? Why does she have all these apps everywhere? You know, like literally, it's like, how does it happen? And I just, you guys, like, you don't know who's on the other side of that of that message. And that is literally the energy and the thoughtfulness and how genuine these messages need to be. It is not about just hitting Success Club. That number, business is numbers, but there's a meaning and power behind what you're doing, okay? It is not just like, let's like slap some invites out. It is not about that. It's about the relationships and connecting. And if Nicole hadn't been selfless that day, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know how to process that. Like, I literally don't, because this has changed me. I've grown as a person. I've grown like mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm able to stay home with my daughter because of this, right? Like, that's freaking impactful because Nicole invited me. That's where the energy of your invites need to come from. It's not about just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, you know? Okay, I need a drink. Sorry, this is overwhelming. It's just like, you just don't know who needs this. And sometimes when people are like, I know I need some wine, Sarah, you know me too well. Some people are literally like, oh, I'm not interested, but thank you. And I'm like, no worries. I just literally don't know who needs this. And then they're like, what the hell? And I'm like, no, but seriously, like, I don't know who needs this, right? And like, that's why I'm inviting every single day, because somebody needs this out there. Somebody was like me, right? Okay. The other picture is Carmen. And you guys, if you are a brand new coach, if this is your first day coaching, hi and welcome. Sorry, I got a little crazy. I just like get really excited. Okay, so let me back up. So the first day, Nicole reached out to me and I said no for 3 weeks. Biggest mistake of my life. Could have had those results 3 weeks sooner. And I went on my story. So I signed up on a Friday. I went on my stories, and because I was a blogger, and I literally said, hey, like, would anybody like to do this 3-week program with me? Like, I'm feeling super uncomfortable in my skin, and like, who wants to do this with me, right? Nicole like didn't even ask me to do that. I don't even know. And I literally like invited. So if you don't take anything else away from the call tonight, the fact that I went on there and I just said, would you like to do this with me? That is coaching in a nutshell. You do not have to have the results right now to be a successful coach. What you need to have You literally need to have the willingness and the desire and the drive to want to be better and invite people to go on the journey with you. People, it's honestly easier. I'm going to say that in quotes, and like, it is easier when people want to do it with you. That's why I was like excited to get pregnant and excited for postpartum, because I'm like, ooh, yeah, because like then I get a results story. You know what I mean? Like people want to go through it with you. And so Carmen, literally day one of my journey, Carmen was like, I need to do this with you. She goes, I'll do anything. And she literally, Carmen, hope it's okay I share this, but she literally told her husband that week that she needed to get lipo because she couldn't stand herself anymore. She couldn't stand it. She was so uncomfortable. And then here we are, freaking, she's going to be 1 star by the end of the month on my team. Like literally, like we are in this together for life. And we've been on this road since day one because we committed to each other. And so that's why I always say, like, if you ask anyone, if you have a new coach, who can do this with you? Who's there that is going to be your friend that was going to want to do it with you? Freaking Carmen and I, day one, and she's on this call right now. Like, what? Like, we didn't think this was going to be our journey. We just needed to lose weight, right? It's like, you just don't know the impactfulness of this. So that brings me to borrowing belief. Okay. I was on a call with the Fitzpatricks and Jamie and Steve like 8 months ago. I don't know, Jamie, when that was. It was a long time ago. It was this year. And basically somebody said, okay, how do you get to 5-star or whatever? And Steve said, okay, if you want to progress your business forward, stop thinking that you just need like wake up 15-star. It's like, that's not like, it's not attainable to think that. You have to go in baby steps. And he said on the call, get to diamond, get to 1-star, get to 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. And I was like, okay, because I was a 2-star at the time. And I was like, well, that's so stupid. I'm not, because I'm just going to wait till my 5 stars ready to go. And then I'll just go with everybody. And when I heard that, I was like, wow, he's so right. Because then the momentum starts to build and then people see what you're doing. So I made the decision, like literally, I'm not even kidding, that I was going to get my second CBC to diamond, did that in like a month or whatever. And then we went 3-star, then we went 4-star, then we went 5-star. And let me tell you what, when you have that momentum happening and Nicole's shouting you out, your coach is shouting you out on Facebook, you get to shout out on Instagram, you get to talk about your coaching journey, things become real and people notice. Like, you know, like it's what it is. Like everything changes. So please just realize you don't need to like, you don't need to wake up tomorrow and be 15-star. You just need to wake up tomorrow one step forward. Keep putting yourself one step forward and that the momentum will build. So borrow belief. If you don't have belief in yourself, freaking find a coach who really resonates with you or you feel inspired by and borrow their belief. Whether it's Jamie, whether it's Carly, whether it's Sherry, whether it's Amy, Nicole, whatever, find that person and believe that you can do it just like them because you can. If I can do it, you can do it. If Jamie can do it, you can do it, right? So borrow belief, set a date. This is the most important thing. You guys, I told my team, I said, all right, you guys, we're going to do this on this date. You got to be the leader. You got to set the date and make it happen. Because I swear to you, once you set the date, your team's like, oh shit, like, okay, we'll do it. Okay, we'll do it. And you know what? They will do it because they want it for you and they want it for you as a team. So if you guys don't know, decide, commit, succeed, right? That's like part of our motto. So decide you want it, commit to a date, and the success will come with the urgency and teamwork and believing as a team that you are not going to let anything stop you from doing this. So to end, I'm going to end with a quote from Grant Cardone, cue Sherry Innes. Success is your duty, obligation, and responsibility. So I'm reading the 10X rule right now with my husband. We're listening to it. And he said this in one of the first chapters. It was like, do you realize that the success of you and your future is up to you? Like, but it's not just up to you, but it's your obligation to your family. And I was like, ooh, okay, like, let's get serious. Like, it's not just about like doing the tracker and checking these off. It's like your responsibility is to provide for your family as a parent, as whatever. Like, it is about, yes, Jamie, intentionality, like getting it done and believing. So I'm going to leave you with this and we can do some questions, but you guys, you can do this. I believe in you. Borrow belief, believe in yourself. Oh, and I would suggest when you wake up in the morning before your feet hit the ground, say something positive to yourself and how you want to show up for the day. So like, I'll like wake up in the morning, if I'm not like texting clients at 3 a.m., it's fine. And I'll be like, okay, I'm going to be a really serving wife today. Right. And like today I made Austin to Shakeology. I made him a tuna melt for lunch and I already made meatloaf that I'm going to put in the oven after this call. Like, I want to serve him, right? That's part of like what makes me feel good. So like, how are you going to show up today? Right. Also, the 1950s called tuna melts and meatloaf. What's up? Okay. Thank you guys so much for listening. And then maybe we can do some questions right now. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Okay. All right, let me scroll up. So yeah, daily affirmations are literally what it's all about. Okay. So, okay, how do you recruit? Do you straight invite to coaching or recruit to your boot camps and then invite from there? So I will say that the perspective changed for me about talking about coaching, because what I realized is when I talk about coaching, I'm actually talking to my clients. I'm talking to my current clients and showing them that they can do this too if I can do it. So I personally right now am like in a transitional phase where I kind of just like got that to click. And I recruit to my boot camps. And I really do find that if people fall in love with drinking Shakeology every day or Energize and Recover and they get the benefit of it, then they will continue to purchase and understand it. And then they'll get the results and then they'll invite people to join them. And then they're like naturally coaching all along. Like, I can't tell you how many times people are like, oh, I have a couple people that are interested, they saw me for the first time in a little while and like, they want to do it. So it really comes from me. It really comes from people like being obsessed with getting results. And then it's just so natural. Like, oh yeah, like, why don't you sign them up, and then you don't make it a big deal. Like, I used to do that in the beginning and made coaching such a big deal. It's not a big deal. I literally went on my stories the first day and I said, who wants to do this with me? And that was coaching. I didn't even know. Okay. Oh my gosh, Mary, you're so sweet. Thank you. Okay, what's your best advice for attracting, recruiting coaches and business builders? So again, so I've really been transitioning to like, I've really been wanting to stick to talking about my challenge group the first 2 weeks of the month and then coaching the second 2, and like kind of like getting in like a rhythm with that. And honestly, it's really about showing up as a leader yourself and showing the coaching side. So like on this call, and Sammy said this, I think last week or whatever, nobody gets what a boomerang is with all these people. Like, no one understands what that means. So like, don't just do a boomerang. Like, you have to explain it. Like, you have to literally pretend you're talking to like a 5-year-old and say, okay, so I was on this call and there's all these ladies on this call and all these women do the same exact workout that I did this morning. And, and then they go and check in their accountability group, and that, like literally like talk it out, because the people who are following you, they don't know. And if you guys talk about coaching 1 time a week, like, people miss it, right? Like, what are the chances that somebody's going to see that story? And then, you have all these people coming to your stories every single day, they might miss it. So you need to talk about it multiple times and in different ways to attract different people. So somebody could be attracted to coaching because of the community. I wasn't, but somebody could, right? Somebody, in the beginning, now I'm obsessed with all of you. Somebody could be attracted to coaching because of the money, because maybe they're short on money. Maybe COVID was a disaster for their family and like they need like help, right? Somebody could be attracted to the fitness and like staying accountable and wanting to pay for products. So like, those are 3 different avenues right there. And that's all coaching. And so like, when I'm saying you need to talk about different ways to coach, like, there's different avenues that are going to attract different people. So like, maybe Monday you talk about how, coaching has changed your life because of the community. Tuesday, you talk about coaching because of the monetary benefits. Maybe you got gas in your car, right? Or whatever. So like, hit different people, but still talk about coaching in that way. Okay. So when I decided to coach again, I kind of just signed up without an invite, and I'm wondering if that's why I'm struggling. Do you have any advice for those that might not feel the same connection to you to the invite? Beachbody has changed my life and I have no doubts, but I wonder if that's just why I struggle to connect when I invite. Okay, I thought about like adding a lot of connection stuff in here. So if you guys sign up without an invite, and I'm wondering if that's my struggle. Do you have any advice for those that might not feel the same connection? Okay, so first of all, when I find people on Instagram, like, and that's like one of the biggest things I hear from my team, like they need help with, is they don't know how to find their people. So I would just say, number one, I was like explaining this last night on my team call, like social media is about being social. So it's like going out in the world and like engaging with people. That's not following people, but it's like, who's the account that you originally, like when you log on to your Instagram and you're like, okay, like I want to decompress at night. Who do you want to go to? Whose stories do you want to see? Who's that person for you? For me, like I love watching Dani Austin. I think she's freaking hysterical. And then Five Mary's Farm is like this rancher, and like we're from the same hometown, like city girl turned country, and I'm like obsessed with her. So like those people, like I want to engage with their followers because I like them both, right? And so it's like going and engaging with their followers and then building relationships with people. So yeah, I shared this last night. I was saying like, I don't care if somebody says yes or no to my boot camp because they are going to join me eventually. But like, I don't care if they say yes or no. Eventually they're going to join, and that's amazing if they, if I keep showing up every single day and sharing the value. So I think that's really about like getting those eyes on your page. So when you go out and you like and comment and engage with different people on, okay, let's say I go to Dani Austin, I find somebody that I really like on her page, I connect with her. Like if it's somebody that's not a mom, then I will literally I might send them a message. I might just engage with them and like move on, like really rapid fire quick, but I'm not going to follow them because like she might not be my person, but then the next day she'll be on my stories. So when I wake up in the morning, I swipe up on my stories and I see the new people and I'm like, hi, oh my God, so nice to see you on my page. Thank you so much for following along. This is what I do, blah, blah, blah. So like, that's kind of my process for getting new eyes on my content. And also like reels obviously are blowing up. I'm not sure if I answered the question. I feel like I went a different way with that. But honestly, I feel like you just being genuine and showing up every single day in your stories and sharing your love for this is really what's going to attract somebody, because the more positive you are, people want that. How many times do you want to call and everyone's like, well, I really just wonder what she had, it's like, yeah, everyone wants to be happy, right? Okay. Oh, okay. So is it more about just like inviting in general? Yeah. Don't overthink it. So, I would literally just say, once you're connecting with people, like you're literally just like having a conversation. So if there's somebody, like my coach, Erica, right? Shout out to Erica. She's amazing. She has 2 kids, right? And her son, Levi, is the same age as me. So Erica was actually, let's just say that she was somebody on Instagram randomly. Okay. So I see her page and I'm like, oh my God, this girl is like so my person. So I'm going to message her, but I'm not going to message the girl that looks like she's in college, because that's not me. And that's not the stage of life I'm in. Like, I'm going to give the girl in college love. I'm going to like and comment and be like, oh my God, so cute, whatever, move on. Hopefully she comes to my page and I can invite her. But for Erica, I'm not going to do that. I am going to do that. Like, oh my God, your son's adorable. Looks like he's the same age as Addie. And then I'm going to send her a message. That's the difference. I'm going to send her a message because I want to connect with her because she's my person. So I think there's a lot of hang up when people say, well, I don't know how to connect. I don't know who to connect with. Well, connect with the people that are most like you. So whatever stage in life you're in, that's who you're supposed to connect with. And the deeper you go, the better, right? So if you're a new mom, you better get deep on those mom blog pages, right? Like, because all the stay-at-home moms, all the moms that are on maternity leave right now, like that's your person. Like, and that's when you send a message, oh my God, how did your baby sleep last night? Like I message so many women every single day asking how their baby slept last night because they become my friends. Like it's not and I've maybe never even invited them to join me. Right. But like, then sometimes I do, and they say yes or no. And I don't care what they say because tomorrow I'll be back to ask them how Evelyn slept last night. It's not about the outcome of that. You're giving value every day and creating the relationships. And then they're going to join you because they're like, okay, it's been long enough now, you know, and they trust you. And like you have a relationship and you have a friendship. Okay. Yes, you're the only one that's you, and that's your superpower. Amen to that. Okay. Yes, it's not about the outcome of the invite. Any other questions, you guys? I'm an open book. So if you want to ask me anything about social media or whatever, I'm happy to answer. Thanks guys for being here. Oh, my end of year goal. Oh, this is, okay. So, well, yeah, elite, we're going to get there. My end of year goal, so right now I'm a 5-star. So my end of year goal is to be like, I mean, I know this is so hard. Nicole and I talk about this every day because my Beachbody mentor was like, you can totally be 15-star by the end of the year. And I was like, okay, perfect, we'll do it. But so like, I don't have any doubt in that, but right now, my end of year goal is to kind of build wide. So I am looking to get my second CBC diamond or a 2-star so I can open up a third CBC. And I'm stacking my weak leg. So end of year goal, 15-star. Obviously I'm going to qualify for elite. That's, you know, got to have the confidence, and really about my weak leg volume right now. So, okay. You guys good? Jamie, do you want to say anything? I'll stop the recording. Thanks, guys.